today I am actually going to use the Seize the Day stamp set. And for my card today, I'm only using stamps, ink, and paper. That's it. Well, okay, blending brushes. But stamps, ink, and paper, and we're going to have some fun with that. So, and I didn't bring the dies out to show you, but the dies are awesome. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They are fantastic. So I'm going to start with, and I have several here because I'm going to show you a couple different things, but I'm going to start with my piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white cardstock. Now, this card and others like it will be featured in my blog post on Friday. So if you don't get the measurements or you don't get like, how did she do that again? Don't worry. It will be in my blog. And I want you to notice, here's my stamp set. Every single stamp except 2 sentiments are being used today. How fun is that? So fun. All right, so I'm just going to grab just a really messy piece of grid paper, which works out great. And I'm going to start with the sentiment, because the sentiment is pretty important. You don't want that cut off or anything. So I'm going to start with the sentiment, thanks from the depths of my heart. And then the 2 colors that I'm going to use are Starry Sky and Balmy Blue. So I'm going to start with the Starry Sky. And we're doing some Retiform stamping today. So we're going to stamp this way in the bottom corner like that. And I'm not even going to worry about cleaning them off right now. I'm just going to try to get them out of the way as I use them. But both of these ink colors are going to be out and ready for me. So hopefully I won't put something in the wrong color, because that sucks. But then I also have, and I've brought these out before, are these huge, they're actually Post-it brand. No, they're not. They're huge sticky notes. And I am going to take one of those. I don't know, have any of you done Retiform stamping before? Oh, it is really cool. And I am going to, I don't want to cover any of the words, but I'm going to mask this off at an angle. And then I'm going to take my blending brush and my Balmy Blue ink and just do a little bit of edge work. And actually, for me, I like to turn it because I just want to get off that edge a little bit, and it's easier this way. So I'm just going to add color right along the edge of my sticky note. And then I peel that off, and you can see how pretty that is. Okay, next we're gonna keep this idea going. So next I am going to take my sticky note and put it at an angle like this. Now, what I want to remember are a couple of things. If I want a white border between this section and this section, here's how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to bring in some sticky notes that I used on a previous, or on my sample project. But I'm going to put a smaller sticky then here, leave a white border. See that little border? Here, let me bring this up so you can see. And then I am going to take another sticky note and put it right up against that one, because remember, we want the ink actually on the sticky note side of this edge. So now I'm going to put this one up against that other edge and remove this one. So now we've got my little white space underneath this sticky note. I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to try to do it faster as we go so that you're not sitting here waiting. But I did want you to see the process as I go. So now I'm going to take my blending brush and get both of these sticky note edges. Thanks, Sharon. And then I'm even going to go, I didn't do this on the other one, but I'm even going to go around the edge. And when I take this off, I'll finish that other edge as well. But now I'm going to take the Starry Sky ink, and it's kind of inky. So one little tip, if it's too inky for you, like it's not giving you the detail of the stamp that you want. And look at these. These are so beautifully shaded when you stamp them, but sometimes they get clunky if the ink is too inky. So then I'm just going to take my bone folder and move ink to the sides of my ink pad. Have you ever seen this done? Then it's not so inky in the middle. We'll see if that works at all. I've done it before, but we'll see if that's enough for these. Then I'm going to take my fishy stamps and go in the middle there. So I'm sure, yeah, ooh, that's so pretty. So pretty. So I'm going to stamp a couple of these going that direction. And then I'll go back. There's a second fish that actually swims the other way. So I'm going to stamp that like so. All right. And then we're going to move those. We're going to move those stickies. Oh, I want to keep that open. Stop that. Okay. And now see, when you take that off, there is my little white border that I wanted. Okay, and then I told you also that I want to go back in. This is a chock full day of technique tips for you. Yeah, inky. Well, you know, that's the way it is. All right, so then we're going to section off the next one. All right, and I'm going to go back to my little bit larger sticky note, and I'm going to do it at a different angle. So retiform means different angles that crisscross, you know, in different ways. And that's not the dictionary terminology for this, but you know what I mean. It's really cool to see this come together. And I just want to make sure that I get all of the parts of this the way I want it. So here again, I'm going to take a sticky note this direction. And then I am going to put another one right up against that so that we have that white border. Okay. And then we'll peel this one off. And I see my border's a little bit crooked. I can see through. I didn't realize that when I made my sample. I can kind of see through there. All right, so then we also have to remember we want to section this off as well. So let's go back, leave our white border. And I am really focusing here, so I'm trying to watch your comments, okay? keep commenting. I love to see them. All right, and then we'll take that first one off, and then we're going to have that nice white border. Okay, so now for this one, I want to use that balmy blue, and really mostly just along the edges, remember. So I don't just want to go through the whole thing. You can. I just prefer not to have that look on this card. So we're going to finish this up. And then for this section, I'm going to take my little crabs. There's a crab in the stamp set. So cute. And remember, these are so beautifully shaded that if they're too inky, it just doesn't show up the way you want it to. So here we've got our crabby section. Oh gosh, look at how cute. Yeah, I can't stand it. So the first one that I made, I did not move the ink off my ink pad. And you can tell it's not what I wanted. So we'll be chatting about that again, but this section is just going to be a little bit smaller. And then we're going to go through that same process. I'm sorry if you get bored with this part of the process, but also I feel like maybe it's good to see that several times while you're learning. You know, there's nothing wrong with seeing it a few times, because then I feel like you're going to have it by the time we're done. And then we'll do the same thing here. So we'll leave that border. And then this one has to go right up against it. And then we're sure to cover up that white space that we want. All right, and back to the blending brush. Being careful not to get up here too much. It's okay to get up there a little bit because I will be doing the edges anyway. But it's fun to use blending brushes. I think it was it was about just over a year ago that they introduced these. And I think, for me at least, they are hugely better than sponges. They're easier to use, in my opinion, and they don't get so splotchy. I don't know. And then we've got this cool stamp in here that are like bubbles. So I'm just going to put that across this one like so. I slipped there. It's got a little smudgy, but we're okay with that. All right, just 3 more sections. So we're over halfway. Hopefully you're not getting too bored with me yet. It's always a challenge to make sure I don't lose you. But I appreciate you coming to watch. And I haven't done something intense like this for a while because of just so many busy things in life. And so I'm excited that we can kind of get back to normal. What do you have? The blending brushes? Oh, girl, get those out. Get them out. They need to be used. I love them so much. And in fact, I have a holder from Stampin' Storage where I've got a dozen and a half or so, and I'm working to get more for more colors. But like this one will be like Pool Party, and this is Balmy Blue. So I do use a couple colors. You can wash them out. That's another question I've been asked. And yes, you can. So that's good news. And for this one, look at that octopus. Woohoo. And he's going to get stamped so that his whole head and most of his arms are in the picture. And I feel like I do have to focus a little bit more on this, because I don't want to mess up the spacing and everything. But this one is tricky because we have 3 different sides to worry about. So, oops, that's not what I want to do. Well, I could, but I'll do it the way I've been showing you so as not to be confusing. So just remember that second sticky note goes right up against the edge. And then, like when I do this one, then I leave that space. And this one against the edge. And this one, leave the space. And we need another one because there are so many here. There we go. All right, so this section now is going to have sea stars. When I was teaching kindergarten in Alaska, we talked a lot. We had a sea ocean animal unit. And we talked about, well, they're not really starfish. They are called sea stars. So that has forever stuck with me. I am a sea star girl, not a starfish girl. So there you go. Now you know more about me than you wanted to today. I taught kindergarten in Alaska for 6 years and met my husband there. And we are going back next month. Because our son is stationed up there, so we'll go see him and then double it as a trip to see a bunch of friends. So I'm excited about that. There will be 1 pre-recorded session for Stamp Together Saturday and maybe 2 pre-recorded What's Up Stampers. We will see how that goes because I would like to go live from Alaska when we're seeing the scenery. One of the Wednesdays will be on a train from Fairbanks to Anchorage. So it might be some pretty scenery at 1 o'clock Central. It'll be 10 a.m. Central or 10 a.m. Alaska time. But we'll see how that goes. And then our last section here, we're almost there, folks. And this is the hardest part, you know, then the rest is gravy, as they say. So we'll finish this section up with jellyfish. No, oops, I did that wrong. Yeah, jellyfish. I'm excited to use that jellyfish stamp. Live from Alaska would be awesome, yeah. So I pretty much just talked myself into that. So we'll for sure have to make sure you are available. Go to the bathroom at work at 1 p.m. Central so that you can watch me on the toilet. Okay, TMI. Never mind. Okay, then this last section, now we're going to have some more balmy blue along the edges. Yeah, I'm excited about that trip, and I think Grace and Terry are going, and Owen will have some time off while we're there as well, and so that's kind of awesome. Uh-oh, what did I do? Did I put it on wrong? Oh, great. Great. Tell me, did I put it on wrong? Yep, I did. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. You know, it's what I do because I was jabbering. Oh gosh. Thank you for trying to catch me before I used it, but that's the way it goes. So I will just add some tentacles in there, and that one is right up to the edge. Oh well. So here is what that looks like. So cute. And then the other thing, I was gonna use this, which I didn't because I forgot. But I'm gonna go back in and do it. I was going to use that one to do some balmy blue seaweed. So we'll do that, and we'll do that. And then that just adds a little bit more to that section like that. All right, so here's what I'm going to show you. This is actually something that I was going to demonstrate on another piece of white, where you wouldn't have to leave the white borders, but now you can see I did it on accident. And that's what it could look like if you wanted it to. So instead of leaving the white borders, you would go right up against the border of the one you've already done and do it that way. And that's the look you get here. So I was going to show you that technique. I didn't mean to show you that on this card, but that's okay. So now I'm going to bring in, and actually to finish it off, I'm just going to add it to the starry sky. And I'm going to bring in the one I did for my sample. And you can see I hadn't moved the ink. And so there are a lot of details that are lost compared to the one I did today. So it really does make a huge difference if that ink pad is too inky. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you is that you can do just a corner on the inside just to make it a fun coordinating inside. But see how you can use stamps, ink, and paper just beautifully together without any fancy accessories or even designer series paper, which is, you know, I love DSP, but no, I don't know. I may have to re-ink this ink pad if I decide it's not inky enough after I move the ink around. But I know it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And I've done Retiform stamping before, but it has been probably a good decade. So I'm excited to bring that back. Yeah, bubbles are cute. So anyway, there are, I'm kind of sad I screwed this one up. Knowing me, I'll probably have to go back and make another one just so that I have 2 cards that I like. But anyway, that is that.